Hey guys, how's it going? It's Mace Dog, and down below we have a few foods that I've selected out of the top 10 traditional British foods. So, these range from anywhere from Scotland, Wales, all the way back to England. And hopefully, we can find something here that maybe you'll enjoy. We have 10 that are kind of sorted up in a weird way, but we'll go through it. So first on our list that we have is the traditional fish and chips. As always, this is a British classic, if not a staple. And honestly, this is probably one of the most well-known. It's delicious. You know, if you go over to England, you get your vinegar and salt, so it's all good. Honestly, over in the US, we use tartar sauce. Either way, it's still delicious. I would have to give that at least an A tier. Next on our list is the English breakfast. Now, this is a huge dish compared to American standards. There's just a lot of food, so it brings me right back at home. But I will say, there's a lot of variety that is on the plate, and I'll be honest, there's a couple of things I didn't like. I did try the black pudding. I'm not a fan of it. But everything else on the dish was delicious. You had fire roasted tomatoes, fried eggs, hash browns, yes, beans and toast, sausages, so you had a whole array of food that you could have for breakfast. And it was delicious, not gonna lie. Other than the black pudding, I would say probably an A tier for that. Now, we got another one. We got bangers and mash. This is a traditional meal of mashed potatoes and sausages, also known as bangers. Why? I don't know why they're called that, but it's a fun, cute name for them. And honestly, it sounds like a great meal. I've never had it, but I know that a lot of pubs will serve this on the side. So if you go to have a pint, you can also have some bangers and mash. Also, I know that this can be more of a middle of the week meal. I would give that a B. The next on our list is a little controversial, and it's Scotland's traditional dish of haggis. Now, to me, I've never personally had it, and it is currently illegal to have in the US. So, I'm not going to be trying it anytime soon, unless I go travel to Scotland. But this dish consists of different cuts of sheep that are maybe not the topper choice, but they're mixed with different spices, and then it's stuffed within a sheep's stomach. So, if you have a weak stomach, maybe not for you, but it does seem interesting. It does have a lot of cultural and historical background to it, so I would highly look into it. I personally don't know if I'd be able to try it, but maybe they have a vegan version that I feel more comfortable trying. Next on our list is the Lancashire hot pot, and honestly, this looks amazing. I've never had it before, but it looks like beef stew with some sort of potatoes on top. In my eyes, it almost looks like it's scalloped potatoes on top. Can't say anything wrong with it. I've never had it, so I might have to deduct a point from it. But yeah, I'd probably put that in high B, low A tier. Jellied eels. When I went down to Brighton, they had fresh jellied eels on the beach, and I don't know if I'd be able to try it. I saw it once and it kind of squeamed me out. So maybe in some way I'll try them later. But as of the moment, it was a bit too much for me. So I'd probably give that back into D tier with the haggis sausage roll. Honestly, you can't go wrong with the sausage roll. It's a puff pastry with, in my eyes, a breakfast sausage down the center. It is one of the most unique tasting foods. It's delicious, and if you ever go, you have to try it. And why not stop at your local Greg's? So that one's definitely going in A tier. And this next one is kind of an accidental food that I found while in England. And honestly, I'd have to say it was probably the best thing I've ever had. Me and my friend, when we went to go travel through England, found a little place that was serving Cornish pasties. I don't know if you've ever had them, but they are delicious. They're little hand pies that are filled with basically beef stew, and there's carrots and onions and beef all inside of basically a pastry crust or a pie crust. It is phenomenal. I would highly suggest them. They were probably the best food I've ever had while I was there. There's all different food there that is good, but that was probably the most notable, and honestly, delicious all around. A tier. Actually, no. S tier. Now, we have the traditional shepherd's pie. Now, shepherd's pie is traditionally made with lamb, hence the shepherd, but you also have things like cottage pie, which is made with beef. Now, in the US, shepherd's pie means with beef. But if you go over to England and you ask for a shepherd's pie, they will give it to you with lamb. So you need to make sure that you're designating which one you really want. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of shepherd's pie. I do enjoy the different meat with all the vegetables at the bottom, but it's not for me. I'm gonna put it in B tier. A lot of people love this dish and say that it's A or if not S tier. This is just my opinion. Please let me know if you do have a different opinion. Share it down in the comments down below and tell me if I'm wrong. Honestly, I'd love to hear you guys' opinion about any of these foods and what I possibly missed on this list. Last but not least, the Scotch egg. Now, this is probably one of the weirdest foods I've ever heard about. It's a boiled egg encased in sausage and then breaded and fried. Absolutely crazy. I've personally never had it, but the idea of having basically a portable breakfast of egg, sausage, and bread, just saying, that's all you need for a good breakfast. And they usually have them served at pubs. Can't go wrong with that. I'll have to put that in A tier because it just sounds like a really good snack or breakfast. Alright guys, so please let me know down in the comments if you agree with this list or if there's anything that you would change about it. Honestly, I find that this is probably the best array that I can give. I honestly love the Cornish pasty. I think out of anything, that was probably the best. Second, probably the fish and chips that I had there. So honestly, please let me know if you would change this up in any different way, and let me know what you'd like to see next on me with UK foods or anything of England. And I'll see you in the next video.